exciting episode of...
You Must Be Joking.
Right.
Yeah.
Today we'll be talking about memory.
You remembered.
Welcome to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Today we'll be talking about memory.
Yeah. When I put it on line last night and everything, saying that's what we were going to discuss, I said if we don't forget again.
Yeah,
because last
we
year,
forgot last time,
yeah.
totally. And I've been kind of thinking about it, and it's interesting to me what aspects of my life I can actually visually remember. Like, say, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay. And then there's other aspects that are just huge blurs, but the only reason that they're even there is because someone told me, hey, remember that? No, what happened? Oh, kinda,
Yeah, see, I've got situations similar to that, except I don't even have the blur.
Well, like,
I have the memory of them telling me
that
it was happened.
And I do have that some, and I'm crap with remembering names.
Oh yeah.
I'll remember a face forever, but the name, no.
Yeah, see, I'll even forget the face unless, for some strange reason, the memory is going to stick.
I have no problem remembering a face and maybe recognizing it, depending on how often I view it.
Yeah.
Because, I remember faces of people from school. I remember faces of people from work. But driving down the freeway, I don't remember the face of the guy that flipped me off while he was passing me because I was going too slow in front of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, there's only a couple of faces I remember from school.
That hot girl you never got. The dude that you always ran away from because you thought he wanted to beat you up, but he really didn't. He was a nice guy. He just wanted to meet you.
Okay, well, I never had that
issue. These are made-up scenarios, people, just like life.
No, but, as far as, there's only a few, and those were the faces that were important to me at the time. Mm-hmm. And, some of my girlfriends from back then, I remember the way that they looked. Their faces, almost every detail of their faces. Then I remember a couple of the guys that, I enjoyed hanging out with or whatever, but then most of the rest of them I couldn't tell you, if I saw them again, then, and they introduced themselves, it might be, oh yeah, but...
Well, I had a friend who had a younger brother who I never met, and he went into the Navy, and he came out of the Navy, and we went to his, welcome home party, and when I walked in the door, I walked to his younger brother, and I was like, hey man, welcome back to the Navy. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dude's over here. I'm just like, holy cow, because he had gained some weight because he got married to a Filipino woman who fed him well, and... Yeah, and he bulked up because he was working out and whatever, did the Navy thing. So I absolutely walked right past him towards his brother because his brother looked like the memory I had of him before he went in the Navy.
Yeah,
and it's just like, well, get off me.
Yeah. Well, I had two best friends in high school. Mm-hmm. One was Pat and one was Mario. Mario, even with the goatee, with the facial hair. I would have recognized him anywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pat, even though we were so close and had so much fun together, I wouldn't have recognized him if we were sitting at the same table in a restaurant. He just, to me, had changed so much. Now, once he took his hat off, and I saw his hair, that would have been a trigger.
That's kind of funny because when I used to have long hair, and when I first cut it, for a long time, my closest friends just walk right by me because, that's not him. Sure. Because when I cut it, I almost went completely bald. I almost did the
shave?
the complete shave, but I decided to do the high and tight like Army. And so people just walk right by me. They wouldn't even recognize, even face to face. My one friend is, I'm just like...
Yeah, it's amazing how much things change.
It's amazing what visual memory does for you. The stimulus there is just, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I was reading about it, and they say that there are 3 types of memory. Okay, so you got your short-term memory, which lasts for seconds to minutes.
And then you have your short-term memory.
That is the short-term
which
memory.
lasts for seconds to minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have your short-term memory.
No, then you have your useful memory.
What's that, like math and words?
No, that's where what you need to actually survive it.
Function?
Yeah, function.
Okay.
You know. Okay.
So math, words, driving,
yeah.
motor skills.
Yeah, but it works on more of a subconscious level.
Yeah, motor skills.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have your long-term memory, which can last from minutes to decades. Okay, depending on how the synapses works and how it's encoded.
How beaten you that memory was?
Yeah, pretty much. You know. But you know,
I'll never forget you, liar.
Yeah, the problem with me is I cannot understand. You know, now they were talking.
That's just one.
Yeah, they were talking about how it's encoded. You know how you encode your memories. You know, you got two. You got your regular synopsis. Okay, so your what's the words?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, pretty much. Truth in advertising. Okay, but you have neurons, okay, which are used to encode.
Call me what?
No, not morons, neurons.
Oh, nerdons.
Yeah,
there's neurons and synapses and
but the
electrical stuff going on.
But the neurons are kind of like RAM in your computer, okay, and but so that you take them, you know, and a good portion of that is short-term memory, but some of it gets encoded and actually gets put into the hard drive. Okay, now they have a
and who decides?
Random, as far as I can tell. But you know, but if you repeat it and practice it or whatever, like
muscle
for music,
memory.
Yeah, then it's embedded more onto the hard drive, okay, and less in the RAM, okay, and then you can access it back to the RAM, which is random access memory, you know, to where you got, you know, everything all set up. However, they do have the Animal University, you know, as far as I can tell, it's for fat chicks. Very fat chicks with big mouths. Okay, it's called the hippocampus. Okay, now they weren't very specific as far as what that was, but that seems to be more of what puts it into your long-term memory from short-term memory.
Are only women allowed to be hippos?
No.
Okay.
But the ones that I've met. No offense, that's just a little bit of levity.
You're trying to be joking, right?
But anyway, so you know, I was reading about all that and everything, and how it resembles the way a computer is set up. You know, where you got the data input either through a camera or the keyboard or mouse or whatever. You know, and it goes in through the RAM into the memory chips, and then it's either stored in the RAM itself or the ROM, or it can be stored in a file onto the hard drive. Okay. And then I was curious about, you know, because I remember watching movies. There was this one movie, I can't even remember what the show was, but I think it was the $6 Million Man.
We picked the right topic.
Yeah. But I think it was the $6 Million Man, where they had this this guy was a real nice guy, but he was but he had a photographic memory, and so he worked at this government place and everything, top secret stuff. And what he would do is he'd walk in and everything, and he'd look at the files, and he would memorize the files just by looking at them. And then he'd walk on out and everything, and then he'd go ahead and type it all out and draw out the pictures, this kind of stuff, and then give them to the Russians or whoever it was supposed to be. And it turns out that it is, and they've got a weird acronym for it. It's, you know, but I'm not even going to try and remember what it is. or what it means. That's the even harder part. But they say that there is a that it documented there are about 100 people worldwide that have that ability to have that much detail.
Photographic memory with full recall like that.
Yeah, except it's not to that extent. You know, that they might be able to remember what they had 6 months ago for breakfast on a regular day. You know, this kind of thing, and they will remember more detail. But as far as somebody that can, you know, look at something like that and just remember every detail of it and then hold on to it for any length of time, they said, you know,
Because
that's
there's
extremely
infinite
rare.
storage capacity in that brain,
Yeah, you know.
which is weird.
Now, but nobody seems to understand why a person will have some memories, but they won't be able to retain others.
That's what I said. Who decides? Who decides? But I mean, aside from a good thump on the head,
Yeah.
who decides? Like when because I can totally understand why so many of my memories are either hazy, completely gone, scene missing, or you know, absolute. There it is.
Yeah.
And it's because one, I really tried to suppress a lot of my childhood memories through a stringent diet of drugs and alcohol. So it worked to an extent, but now I see the folly of my ways. But it's too late for me. So kids, do drugs.
Well, I have pickled so many. Okay, we were talking about you know how you'd have kind of a hazy memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then somebody would tell you about that, you know, what went on, and you'd go, oh, I kind of remember that. I've had people tell me some amazing stuff that happened the night before, and I have no hint. Yeah,
Bro.
and you know, there was stuff I didn't know I could do that I would
Wake
do.
up. How did I get here?
More than once.
2 days later, someone says, "Oh man, remember the thing?" No. What'd we do? They have to tell me the whole story, and you let me drive, you mother.
Yeah. Well, that's like in South Dakota back when I was.
He's like, you were the most sober. Shit.
Yeah, I lied. Or no, I was 18 finally, and went to South Dakota. Me and my cousin, and we went to Deadwood. We'd been drinking all day anyway, but we ended up in Deadwood, and we went to this top 40s bar,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and with a lot of dancing and the music, you know, and everything. And to make a long story short, I was hitting on this guy's wife,
Okay.
you know, and I remember asking her to dance and asking him if it would be all right. Next thing I know, I'm out in the car and I can't move. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I know I'm going to throw up, and I'm trying to get my head to turn so I'm not puking on me. And I get, you know, finally over and douse the door, you know. It's the last thing I remember. And when I woke up, I went outside to get my guitar out of the trunk of the car, and it wasn't there. And then I'm thinking, oh shit, somebody stole my guitar. And so I went back in and I said, James, what happened? You know, somebody stole my guitar. He says, no, you brought it in. I did? He says, yeah. Damn, I'm surprised I couldn't even bring me in. I said, did you help me get the guitar in or what? He says, no. He said, I was too drunk. He says, you're the one who drove us home. I said, no, man. I said, the last I remember, I was sitting in the passenger seat and puked my guts out. You know, couldn't move. He says, oh, you came back in after that. I did? He says, yeah. You started hitting on that guy's wife, trying to talk her into going home with you. I said, oh, dude, man, why didn't you try and stop me? He says, hey, she looked interested. I figured you might score. I don't remember any of that. You know, the last thing I remember is I was sitting in the car, you know. And it's just... I never went back to that bar either. I was so ashamed of what I, you know... but and yet I can remember back when I was 2 years old,
Uh-huh.
right, or even before that. I can remember being in my diapers,
Yeah.
you know, and I'd jump up in the air and land on my butt, you know, on the ground, and it wouldn't hurt or anything, you know.
I don't remember nothing.
And
None of that.
I remember me and my sister taking a bath together when we were just little babies, you know.
I think that's common.
I remember me and my friend Timmy, when I was like 5 years old, running around a landlady's building there in the trailer park we lived in, and he come around one way, and I was chasing him, and then he turned around and came back at me, and he jumped up, and just as we came around the corner, I jumped up. They just got done pruning these little trees, these little pine trees, and when I jumped back, my head, I got stuck on a branch, one of the branches that were, you know, so I'm just hanging there. My mom said my feet were about like this far up. Timmy thought I was dead because I just, you know, but I'd knocked myself out, you know. But I remember everything up to the point of impact on that tree, you know. And I remember going out. My mom told me to go and get Dad because they were out in the big field, you know, out there playing baseball, him and a bunch of the other guys.
Okay.
And so I go running on out there. I'm going to get him, and it's just before it gets dark, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, I see this big flash of light. That's the only thing I remember. I woke up the next day, and I only had one eye. Because the other one was swollen shut because somebody hit the ball and right in the eye and knocked me out.
Very nice.
That explains a lot of the, you know, the head trauma. You know, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But, you know, but then again, you know, I met this girl when I was 15, and they introduced me to her, and she was gorgeous. Oh, God, she was gorgeous. And she was the kind of woman that you would actually rip your arm off to beat back the other guys. You know, just, she was just, oh, my word. And, but I still remember the way she looked the very first time I saw her. I remember the way Pat looked at her and looked at me when he saw her, and I remember our first date and all that, but it took 2 weeks to find out what her name was. They told me her name right then, but I couldn't tell you. I thought it was something like Listina or something weird and exotic, you know. It turned out to be Lois, you know, so at least it was an L.
Yeah,
you know.
close, yeah.
But, you know, I couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember a lot of my assignments, but I can remember hitchhiking through Wyoming and
somewhere I can remember something somewhere.
well, I spent so much time hitchhiking, but you know, trying to go through Wyoming into Montana, and you know, walking for days, and then all of a sudden getting picked up by this old lady, very nice old lady, and her granddaughter. And that was a very nice ride, you know. But I can remember stuff like that, but I can't remember so much normal things that a person should.
Define normal and should remember. Because, like, when I was young and a little more dumb than I am now, you know, it was all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I was in the band, and so we're doing the drugs part real heavy, and so every night at band practice, and this one band, we had practice 3 nights a week and at least 2 shows a week, and so every night at band practice we all brought our own bottle, and we would drink. Flash forward 20 years, I'm in a completely different band. I haven't been drinking as much as I used to. And on St. Patrick's Day, we get a gig. And there's dollar beers at this gig. And we're supposed to play like second or third. So I'm like, okay, you know, have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Normal. Promoter comes up. And it's a all day thing. Promoter comes up, hey, can you know, a couple more? Yeah, okay, whatever. Promoter comes up, whatever. Last thing I remember is dropping a glass because it slipped right out of my hand. And I do not remember another thing until I was actually on stage with my guitar in hand, about to fall over onto the soundboard for the stage sound, pulled out, right back into a blackout. That's all I remember from that entire evening, because and because I was blackout drunk, but I hadn't gotten blackout drunk in a humongously long time, and the guys in the band were like, "Man, that was impressive." Because you played everything, you only missed like 2 changes, but you just rode like the right note to make it through those changes, and all you did was scream into the microphone. Ah! Not even singing, just screaming. Ah! I don't remember any of that. But yeah, that's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Because with the current band, I'd practiced enough to know the riffs, even in a blackout drunk state, even though I'd never rehearsed with that band in that state.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's. I can understand why a person would remember something that they've done repeatedly, or they practiced. I mean, if you
it's
the
like
alphabet.
it's like people talk about how did I get to work? I don't remember driving to work.
Yeah.
It's because you remember you do it every day. So
yeah,
you're
my car
halfway asleep. Yeah, my car knows how to get to work. Unfortunately, so
I know my car got me home more than once from the bars.
Right? Yeah. So there's always that.
Yeah, my car drove me home, but I couldn't.
I was not in control of that at all.
Yeah, I couldn't get myself out of the car into the house, but the car got me to the house.
Yeah. Just wake up in the driveway.
Yeah.
Why is the window so wet? What time is it? Oh shit! Start it and go to work. Didn't even go in the house. Never had that happen before.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me that there are so many things that I would like to remember and can't.
Yeah.
But there are things that,
and the absolute opposite for me, because there's things I'd like to remember and can't, but there's things I don't want to remember and always will. Yeah. And it's just like,
Well, I can remember.
Why do you still smoke weed? Because of
I can remember being with a kid my age, way back when, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time, I can also remember some of the nightmares that I had when I was little, and I can remember even the worst ones when I got older.
Mine were wide awake, so I can't get rid of them.
But I would like to be able to forget a lot of the trauma that I had.
That's what I tried to do.
And a lot of the nightmares that I had because of that trauma. But then, if I forgot that stuff, would I forget all the other stuff that I enjoyed so much? The good memories too.
In my experience, it's the deep fear and pain that seems to stick no matter how hard you try and get away from it, and the fun and the joy, unless it really outweighs the pain, it goes. And it's just like damn it, because I know there were good times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I remember scuba diving 8 hours a damn day, doing the parasailing, surfing all damn day. It's like I lived through my retirement when I was a younger child, because all the fun things I got to do, but the trauma that went along with it was equal and sometimes even more. And so I really tried to repress those traumatic memories, and the only thing I ended up doing was really repressing the ones that were good.
Yeah, see, I never tried. Well, I can't say that.
Don't say that.
Yeah, there was a few instances where I really tried to forget. And most of the things that I went through, I tried to sort out, but I didn't want to forget because I was afraid that it might happen again. Or it might leave me vulnerable. And I was deathly afraid of that. But there were a few things that I really wanted to forget. Thus, the alcohol abuse, the running away, to where I just, say hell with it and start hitchhiking, not even know why or where. And to this day, this is the first year, I got to admit, this is the first year in my life since 1972, okay, that I have not, between the 1st of March and the 12th of April, lost it and gone ballistic about something that never should have happened.
Something microscopic.
Yeah, but I haven't felt the need to run or to leave and just go away, disappear.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first year since 1972 that I haven't gone through that.
You've got a place though.
Yeah, well, I've always had a place.
You've got something to do.
Yeah, but
occupations.
I've still got my wife, surprisingly. I've still got my daughter, and we've been living here since, for several years, and but this is the first year I've had, so I don't know why though.
Yeah, don't question it.
No.
Just enjoy the moment because it probably won't last.
That's a good possibility too. So, but yeah, I always find it surprising that like I can.
Is my cup big enough?
I will sit there and like I need to take a test, right? Well, I had to take another written test for my CDL a few years ago. Now I've been driving for years. I've had my CDL for years, and all of a sudden, they tell me I got to retest for it. So I go through and everything, and it's like, well, okay, I better go ahead and read the book again because there's a lot of particulars I might not remember.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and I read the book, and sure enough, boom, But then they tell me I got to go in for another test for my hazmat. Okay. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I do this all the time, so I go on in, take the test, and I fail it. And it's like, what the hell? No, man, this is the same. And then I start reading it again, and it's like, oh shit. So then I got to reschedule, go back in so I can take the test again. I get the book, I go ahead and I read it through and everything, and I can remember all of it for 2 days, no problem. Day 3, not a chance,
I remember I took the lead abatement test, because there was a course where you could just take the test, and it was amazing. I was just like, F the course. Took the test, passed the test, only missed 2 questions. It's like, all right, so I guess I'm certified lead abatement. They're like, yeah, well, it was all common sense. But that hazmat test,
yeah,
that's a big difference.
yeah, that was.
I can imagine what an asbestos abatement test must look like.
I don't even want to imagine that. I mean, yeah, but for my hazmat test, that was, it was kind of funny too because, to get the CDL, the book is about this thick.
Yeah.
Okay. The part that I had to study was maybe that thick. Okay. And that covered my combination license, my air brake endorsement, my I could have done doubles and triples.
Okay.
But I didn't want to, and my tanker endorsement. It's all in that little deal there.
Okay.
The hazmat was a separate section that was about that big.
And we'll go ahead and we'll just be dangerous.
It's like, damn. So, but but why I can remember that for 2 days, but not 3, and yet, when it comes to actually doing the job, I remember the particulars. I know I got to stop at a railroad crossing. I know that, it's got to be placarded if it's
unless the railroad crossing is exempt.
If it's 1,100 or 1,001 pound, it's got to be placarded. And if it's less, or if it's 1,000 or under, then you don't have to placard it. In certain instances. And this kind of stuff, why I can remember that.
And 11.9 does not mean 11.9.
Yeah. It's just, and yet I can't remember, the person's name that I just met 2 days ago, and we had a good time laughing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's, the name thing is amazing. It's like I've literally been introduced to someone, talk to them for 10 minutes, go over here for a minute, go back to this guy, and say, done.
Yeah, same thing.
And I used to get embarrassed by that, but now I'm just like, well, I did it to myself. I'm sorry. This is how I am.
Well,
I broke myself, man.
well,
And people are mostly understanding.
yeah, because a lot of people have the same issue, but I end up telling them, hey, I might have, when they introduce themselves, I'll tell them, hey, I might have to ask you 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
because believe it or not, I wouldn't even remember my own name if I hadn't had it for so long.
Yeah, you get like 5 or 6 times to give me a first impression, because unless your first one was really, really, really good. But then it's just like,
Yeah. Did I give a good first impression?
no.
Okay, I was afraid I broke my run.
No. How long did it take before I even remembered your name? I can't even remember. The guy before you, it took me almost 3 years to remember his name. Mike? Mark?
I have no clue.
I can't remember either.
No, my next door neighbor on this side, I know her name. It was easy. My brother dated 2 of them. And the reason he dated 2 of them was because he was afraid that he was going to say the wrong name if he didn't get the same name.
That's why you just say baby.
All
Hey
the time.
baby. Hey baby.
That's like
baby. Oh baby.
That's like with Lois, man. For the first 2 weeks that we were together, I every time I'd see her, it was beautiful, cutie, sweetie,
Hey gorgeous, what's going down?
yeah,
How about you?
hey honey, darling, whatever, anything but the name. And then finally, Pat's girlfriend Sarah said, "Hey Lois, let's go get some popcorn or whatever it was." We were at the drive-in, and they got out and everything, and me and Pat sitting there. Oh yeah, because we were watching Pink Panther. And it was funny because we'd be in the car and we'd just be going hot and heavy, and all of a sudden you'd hear that dun 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 dun, and so me and Pat would both push the girls away a bit, and everything, and sit there and just watch the cartoon. So the girls would go, but anyhow, so then we were watching the Pink Panther and everything, and the girls got out and everything, and after they got out, I leaned forward and I said, "Is her name really Lois?" He goes, "Yeah, didn't you know that?" Because I've been trying to remember. He says, "Oh yeah, her name's Lois." Okay, well now I know. Didn't forget again. But yeah, the memory is just really, really weird. I was reading also though, about how you walk through a door and you forget why you walked through the door?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is an extremely common occurrence.
I know, it's awesome too.
Yeah.
I've watched it in action, and I've recognized it
Experienced it?
happen to me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't. You're just like, what? But then once in a while, it's just like, God, why'd I come in? Oh, that freaking door! And then you're like running back and forth through it a couple times. Didn't bring it back.
Yeah, I've gone as far as to try and walk backwards
Yeah.
through it.
Didn't help. Maybe if I talk backwards. Nope, didn't rewind.
Nope.
I guess I'll just look in the fridge.
That kills me too, because you open the door and put your head in the fridge and everything to see, because you were going to get something, and then you forget what it was that you were going to get.
Yeah, you go in there to cook, you open the door, you see a couple eggs, you're like,
Why did I open this?
and close the door.
Yeah.
Wait, and now you can't remember even why, and now you're thinking eggs, and you're just like, ah!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to have that soup. Son of a mother of all.
Yeah, drives you nuts. But I found out why.
You found out why it drives you nuts?
No, why it happens.
Oh, well, because it's weird.
No, it's because we plan. We all have our goals. Okay, we have an end game. Okay, no matter what it is, it's an end game. Now, the way it was explained was this woman walks up to these 3 builders. Okay, and she asked the first one what he does, and he says, "I put brick upon brick upon brick." And she goes, "Okay." And then she goes to the next one. She says, "So what do you do?" He says, "I build walls." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then goes to the third one, and she says, "What do you do?" He says, "I build cathedrals." Now these guys are all working on the same job, doing the same thing, but the ones doing the brick on brick, and the other one's doing building a cathedral, and the cathedral is the way that we live our lives most of the time. That's the end game. We're planning ahead. We're trying to get to that end game, but to build the walls. We have to build the walls in order to get to the cathedral, and we have to lay the brick on the brick in order to build the wall. Okay, and so what we end up doing is, in order to build that cathedral, we have to we're planning the bricks on top of each other to make that wall, but we're still focusing on the cathedral, the end game. So as we're so say you've decided, okay, I got to go to work. I don't want to go to work, but I got to go to work. So you go ahead, you get up in the morning, and you get your clothes on and everything, and you realize that you left your keys up in the bedroom and everything, so you go ahead and you turn around and you go up into the bedroom. But now that when you walk into the bedroom, now you're already planning on getting in the car and going and what you're going to do to start at the work. So you've already planned on getting the keys, but now you're thinking ahead again, so you're over here already driving to work in your mind. What's the traffic going to be like, this kind of stuff. So according to your thought processes, you've already accomplished this. And so now you're off to move on to the next one.
Man, that's a lot of words, because it was explained to me way simpler than that. What happens is you decide to do something, and you walk through a doorway, and it's just like on a TV screen, you've changed scenes. Going through that door changes the scene in your brain, because visually and mentally you adjust to where you have, because once you go through that threshold, you adjust. And if whatever you were doing was important to that adjustment in your brain, you walk through that door, you forget what you were doing. You stand in the kitchen going, what the fuck did I come in here for?
Yeah, but in essence what it is that you're already working on the next level.
And your brain has adjusted.
Yeah.
And so you walk through that door, and you forgot whatever. I mean, like you said, I'm in the car. I'm on my way to work. Why did I come in the kitchen? Your keys are sitting there on the counter. Why did I come in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And you look at them, why did I come in here?
Yeah. But it's, you've changed the scene, but it's changed. Also because, you've moved on to the next process.
Yeah, because you're at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So, but it was like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want that to happen, there is
just don't walk through doors.
Move outside. But no, you can actually go ahead and
write it down. Then when you walk through the door and forget it, you'll be like, why did I write this down?
No, you walk through the door and everything, and you go, where did I leave that list? That's what I do. I'll get to the store with a grocery list, or thinking that I have the grocery list, and it's still on the table at home. So, but no, you can actually, the way to not let that happen is to never plan ahead. You only plan to the part where you're going, and then you decide what to do after you accomplish that one thing.
I live my life moment by moment.
There you go.
By moment.
Of course,
moment. By moment.
Of course, that would definitely limit you on any success.
On everything.
Yeah.
That would be the end all. I think that might be what they want us to do. Just stop thinking, stop moving, just stay in your house. We'll do everything for you. And, there's going to be casualties. There's going to be a little bit of lightening of the load, because, not everyone's going to make it.
That's a fact. But, yeah, I found that so interesting.
I like the stories about people who have had, traumatic brain injuries, and they recover, and they, know a foreign language. Is that real? Does that really happen? And how does that happen? I mean, did they, maybe when they were younger, maybe their parents watched a foreign film and they heard it, or is it just like,
Yeah.
"Zing, I'm French now, oui oui, fiche-toi"?
I don't know, but my daughter, my youngest, she couldn't speak any Chinese, until, and then my wife and her went to China, so my wife could, introduce her to the, her family and friends and stuff.
Well, that's being submersed into language.
Yeah.
I'm talking about someone who had a traumatic brain injury, who spoke pure Russian, whacked in the head, come to, now they speak French.
Don't you? Got no clue there.
Because young child immersed in a culture will definitely learn the language fast.
Yeah.
Even an adult immersed in a culture will learn enough to survive if they're smart.
Yeah. Well, the weird part is that when she came back to the U.S., she had a hard time speaking English, and then it was like 2-3 months later she couldn't remember much of the Chinese.
But that's because she was re-immersed in an English-speaking culture and was not kept up with the Chinese.
Well, Mama still talks to her in Chinese most of the time.
Yeah, but she's not immersed in that culture.
No. But yeah.
Because when I was living in L.A. framing with just tons and tons of Mexican guys, I could actually talk to them and fluently enough to get work done, have fun with their families and meals, and dated a couple guys' daughters. Come up here, not as many crews like there were down there, so I don't see them as often. And now it's just like I think I remember how to say hammer and level and pencil. I know cerveza. I remember beer.
Yeah, that's that one there though.
See,
that's
now
survival.
Now I know I can at least get a couple of food items. I might be able to get drunk. I might be able to get laid, but I'll definitely be able to get in a fight.
Yeah, well, getting into a fight, you don't even have to know how to
No,
talk.
yeah, it's just look.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Oh man, I keep forgetting I'm out of coffee.
It means I broke my finger.
But yeah, it's just, and I don't know. I mean, I've heard stories of it. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's weird that if you could actually just come out in a new language. I mean, maybe the accident occurred somewhere where they were in a foreign country, so they were immersed in that language while they were out.
Unconscious, yeah. I don't know. Well,
because unconscious learning is supposed to be a viable form of learning.
well, yeah. I don't remember. I don't know if you would remember, or even if you ever saw it. There was a Disney movie, Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember the movie, but I remember the movie.
Yeah, with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell, the
Yeah.
Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he? No, I'm thinking of the one where he kicked over the lamp pole. That was another one where he was super strong. Again, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of Disney films.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Computer Wore Tennis.
Yeah, Computer
Tennis
Wore
shoes.
Tennis Shoes. Yeah. But part of that movie and everything, he was helping everybody because he ended up getting electrocuted by a computer, and so it made him super smart
Right.
or whatever. But he was helping people study by doing recordings and then playing them while they were asleep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so that would help them learn and they'd pass the tests. Well, it turns out that if you want to get the most out of your study, okay, the best thing you can do, well, besides getting a good night's sleep to begin with, is go ahead and study and concentrate and repeat it before you go to bed. And then when you go to bed, it actually helps lock that in.
With the subliminal listening or,
Yeah.
or unconscious listening or whatever.
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, without even listening to it again.
Oh.
If you've done it and then you repeated it or practiced it or whatever before you go to sleep, then it helps to lock it into your subconscious and your conscious mind together. And that's another thing that I was reading. And that they say that that it improves your learning ability and your retention, several times over. Yeah. So if that's the case, then if you got a head injury and it knocks you out, and say you're out, but people are speaking French or German or whatever it is while you're out,
Right.
then there is a good chance that you might be able to retain it because your brain is trying to get its lucidity back and it might just be trying to absorb
Pardon me, sorry.
anything and everything. You know.
I seem to have swallowed something weird. Did a fly in? I don't know. But yeah, because I seem to remember one of the stories that I read was like it from World War I or something, where they were in the trenches. So there's a possibility that there was definitely bilingual thing happening there.
Yeah, you know, it very well could be. I have read about people that have done the the Spanish or French, you know, with recordings, and then just listen to those on repeat, all through the night using headphones, you know, and you know, they learn the language that way faster.
I have Babbel. At the beginning of the pandemic, I went ahead and bought it because they had a lifetime thing for real cheap, and I was like, hey, whatever, bing, because I wanted to try and learn some languages. Because there was nothing else to do during our self-imprisonment for stupidity. But so you know, I go through the course. Actually, I think I went through the first 2 courses. Couldn't tell you what the hell I learned, but I'll go there and I'll open it up, and it'll be like, do the refresher. Oh yeah, perfect score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the recall that you're having a problem with.
I couldn't tell you what the hell I learned.
Yeah, well, it's like with me, you know. I mean, I was trying to learn Chinese for a good while, you know, but the way everything is in my life, it's really hard to focus for any length of time. And then, of course, you know, with it being Chinese to start with, I'll start to...
It's not one of those easy ones to learn.
Yeah, but I would start to try and say it and use it, you know, and then my older daughter, Xiao Ting, would kind of giggle at me and everything and say, well, you know, you got to be like this, you know. And then my wife, she'll sit there and everything, you know, she'll be trying, oh yeah, and then you say this and then this and this and this, you know, and then this is the way you say it in Mandarin, this is the way you say it in Cantonese, but you can say it this way in Cantonese or this way in Mandarin, you know. And it's like, okay, well, I'm done. Yeah. You took a simple thing and just killed it, you know. I mean,
it's like 2, 2, 2.
Yeah. So right now, about the only thing that I can recall right off the top of my head, you know, is like a wa weisha EDR potongqua kashe washwoda buhao. Okay, which is I can speak a little Chinese or a little Mandarin, but not very well.
Yeah.
And that was it. So that's my little bit of Mandarin.
Mi español es basura. It means my Spanish is garbage.
No comprendo.
So yeah, I mean, it's weird how I but yeah. Earthquake. So
I thought it was thunder.
Yeah, the memory is a fantastic thing to lose. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
and so there's like, you know, Alzheimer's is interesting in that it's your memory basically just deteriorating as your brain stops functioning, I guess.
But hi, you have reached the Alzheimer's Research Lavatory. No, laboratory.
Lobotomy.
Anyway, the place thingy where we study...
stuff.
What was it? Anyway, if you wish to leave a... Oh gosh, what was it?
Banana.
A menage a trois... No, if you wish to leave a... Oh, please speak after the bath. No, the beep!
I got such a kick out of that when I was listening to it before. So I had to save that since this was going to be memory.
All right.
But yeah, I had conversations. Well, in fact, you and I have carried on conversations where I was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what I said 15 minutes ago. It's just stuff that doesn't need to be kept, I guess. Like I said, who decides? Who's in there making the decision? Yep, go ahead, man. Okay, yep, we need to keep that. Yep, okay, nope, yep, nope, yep, you know.
Yeah, well, there is a thing as selective memory as well.
Yeah.
You know, a perfect example of that is, you know,
I remember when we went to the club and I did so much better than you that night.
oh yeah,
That's selective memory.
yeah.
Because it was one time. The other 5 times, you fucking rocked it.
I see. My example was going to be, you know, I remember, you know, that me and this gal Bonnie, we had gone out and had so much fun, and we, you know, had so much good times together, you know, and that's the selective memory part, because the majority of the time, you know, she hated my guts, and I was mad at her, and, you know, I was getting away from her and everything, you know, and then after a while, you kind of forget about the bad stuff, and you start thinking about the good stuff, and then you start trying, you know, oh yeah, so then you work it out again, you know, and yeah, that sucked, you know, yeah, so, but selective memory.
Selective memory.
Yeah, you try to remember the good stuff and not the bad stuff, and sometimes maybe you ought to stick to the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, although the good stuff was good.
Good stuff made gooder by goodness.
yeah. Now that may have been good, but that was so much gooder.
That was the goodestness of goodness and the goodness timedest. What? Who? So yeah,
Good, gooder, and goodest.
memories are amazing. I just wonder what's gonna happen to all my memories when I die. Where do they go? Where do they get? Are they in the cloud? Can someone else access them? Am I gonna be able to access them? Do I get to live my memories, or is it gonna be like when I dream? Is that what's gonna happen to those memories? Just kind of uploaded?
Don't know.
Don't know either.
I'll tell you what, though. If I die first, I'll come
You
back
tell
and
me?
let you know. Yeah.
I've had someone else tell me that, and I still haven't heard from you. John, come on. John, where are you, man? Waiting. So, 40 years, man. Come on.
Well, you know, some guys,
But
you
see,
know.
time might pass differently on the other side. So
Well, it probably does,
he
but
could have went, hey, I've been yelling at you for a billion years, and you sat there and did nothing.
well, you know, it could be that, you know, he's just a typical guy. You know.
And didn't contact me? Bastard. John.
Actually, no, I was going to say, you know, he probably just didn't stop and ask directions. You know, some guys are like that. Me, I'm willing to stop and ask directions. You know,
If it's important enough. If it's not, I'll just keep driving forward.
there you go. You know, well, maybe you're just not that important, so he's still looking. You know,
I could be.
you know. Me,
I could be.
me, you can bet that I'll be back, because I'll be going, hey, you know, hey, how do I get back over there, man? This guy's starting to look too happy.
Happiness is not allowed. That's why memories are there. To keep you unhappy. What? Wait. Oh, no. I'll tell you. See, now, why is it that, like, I'll remember something from when I was 16 that I wanted to do but didn't do, and so I still think about that today. Oh, God, man, I should have done that. Why is it I'll remember that, but I'll forget the really good time I had with the same person? I can't. I mean, I know we went and did this stuff. I can't recall it. But the thing I do recall is the one time when it was like, hey, let's, and I was just like,
Yeah.
Should have went. Why didn't I go? And why do I have to relive that memory for 50 years?
Because that's the regret.
Ah, man. I hate regret.
Well, yeah, we regret it.
Regret keeps memories alive that I don't want.
Yeah.
Just like pain.
But there again, from that regret, from that experience, you got more of an opportunity to not repeat it. Okay, so now, you know, so
I regret nothing after that.
you know,
That's similar to that.
I
Because
regret
I learned.
not going skiing with this guy that
Yeah,
wanted
that's
me to go
almost
ski.
it.
And
She wanted me to go snowboarding with her, and I was just like, I can't today because I got a bullshit excuse for you. Why didn't I go snowboarding with her?
because it's freaking cold.
See, and I think that's what the regret is. There was no reason not to go. There was absolutely no reason not to go.
Well, did you ever get another chance to go with?
Well, no, we went out like 5-6 times. I actually dated her. Like I said, those are beautiful memories that are not there. Why didn't I could just went snowboarding? Should have just went snowboarding. Because then maybe those other memories would still be there. Because a lot of them were before, but a couple of them were after.
Oh.
It's just one time I didn't go. Bullshit excuse. It's the bullshit excuse. And you know why? The bullshit excuse? It's the regret.
Yeah.
Because the bullshit excuse was, hey, I got something to do, and the something that I had to do was drugs.
Yeah.
See the regret? That's what's keeping that memory alive.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Me, I don't have a whole lot of those. I do have regret of either not doing or because I did do something that I shouldn't have done. I should have done something differently.
Yeah. Well, when I threw a rock that killed that little duckling, I kind of felt bad about that. See, now that's a memory that sticks in my head.
Yeah.
And that happened when I was maybe 11.
Yeah. Well, it's like me and my brother. We went.
And the reason it sticks is because I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't on accident.
Me and my brother, we had my BB gun, and we were out camping, and don't know why, but just started shooting different stuff, and then my brother saw this bird, it was just one of those little yellow parakeets or whatever they are that fly around out there.
All right.
Anyhow, so but he went ahead and he shot it and it killed it. Well, immediately when that bird hit the ground, here come this other one, came down and everything, and just sit right next to it and wouldn't move. And then Ken got, oh my God, and started, and he took the gun and he just put it away and never would touch it again.
See, that's interesting because I, shot birds, squirrels, and even cats with a BB gun, and don't care. It's
well
that other incident. Why?
I used to shoot pretty much. I'd shoot bees. I'd shoot butterflies, squirrels. I had this old BB gun and everything that was just worn out. I mean, it got to where if you let the barrel go down, the BBs roll out the barrel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I sit there and everything, and
the seal is gone.
Yeah, I saw this squirrel going up the telephone pole and everything, and God, bam, like that and everything, and 3 BBs came out at once. one hit it in the tail, one in the back, and one in the head. Just pop, pop, pop. And it's like, oh, good shot. Then of course, you sit there and everything go like that again and everything, and then
nothing.
Go.
Uh-oh, are we in trouble?
No, that was just to make sure that we had enough time, because now that Trevor and everything has been communicating a little bit more, I thought maybe you would like to promote your little show, because we pretty much delved into ours.
Hey, you know what we didn't do today? We didn't invite anybody into this conversation because we didn't remember.
There you go.
Very sorry. Yeah, you want to talk about my show, or at least plug it.
Yeah.
It's the Vegetable Soup Show. It's on nwczradio.com. It airs on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And vegetable soup, so it's anything and everything and all kinds of weird stuff. And it's usually just me alone in my studio now. I used to have guests, but now it's the show's kind of evolving, and I'm trying to take it in a little bit of a different direction. I haven't quite found my stride yet, but I'm still looking, and so far the little things I've dabbled in, my producer said it's okay. He just he's trying to help me get more viewers and followers too. So I like it.
Cool. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
So yeah. Anyway, and then this show here, it will be on Thursdays at 5 on Rubber Chicken Radio, but also Thursday at 5 it's released as a rebroadcast on YouTube and on rubberchickenproduction.com.
Very nice. So far, only the stuff I do with the Vegetable Soup Show is just available on Anchor and Spotify and things like that, where you would get audio podcasts. I don't have anything video yet, except for I do play video games on Twitch once in a while. It's Veg playing WoW, because I play World of Warcraft. But it's so random. Sometimes on Saturday, sometimes on Tuesday. It's not, I don't have a schedule, so I can't be like, come watch me fail at WoW.
Yeah, so anyway, but thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Again, Rubber Chicken Production is where you'll find our podcast. That's actually our podcast page, but you can also find them on Spotify and wherever
Anchor
else you get it.
Apple and
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
so-
iTunes and blah, blah. And
Yeah. So anyhow, thanks a lot. If you guys do have any questions or comments, please go ahead, feel free. You can email us suggestions at rubberchickenradio.com. That's pretty much just let us know what you think of it, and if you got something you'd like us to discuss.
If you think my coffee cup is too big, let me know at veg@rubberchickenradio.com.
Yeah. And if you think that my water should have been a beer,
You're right.
Gary at rubberchickenradio.com. Anyhow, thanks all for watching.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Stay